Super Express Truckers Network. This one's for all you truckers out there.
You set foot on foreign soil. Only this land isn't ruled by any country or government. In this land, we celebrate music. In this land, we celebrate games. In this land, we celebrate those who compose video game music. Welcome to the VGMbassy. Welcome and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the VGMbassy. This is a show centered around video game music and the amazing online community of fans and podcasters that enjoy it. My name's Ed, and on each episode I'll take the role of Prime VGM Minister and invite a guest VG Ambassador onto the show to share with us their own video game music culture. Or I may share a part of my culture on a solo show. Hey, it's not a solo show for once. I know I've been doing so many shows on my own. I finally have a guest with me, a super special guest, one that I could say I've known since the day he was born. Say hi, Mr. Special Guest VG Ambassador.
Hi.
We have Logan back again today. It's been quite a while since he's been on. We've got some very cool games to talk about. We've been playing a lot of video games together, especially during lockdown, and the theme of these games has been kind of the same. We've realized we've played a lot of games with similar kinds of activities going on. What are we talking about today, dude?
Trucks and racing games.
Yeah.
And also truck racing games.
I think a little bit of everything. Some games that have only trucks in them, some games that feature trucks, but also other kinds of vehicles. What do you like so much about truck games?
I like trucks.
Yeah.
And I like driving.
I guess that makes sense.
And I like truck driving.
Do you like the racing ones? Do you like the mission-based ones? Which one do you like more?
All of them.
Just all of them?
Yes.
Yeah. What about some other video games? What else have you been playing lately?
Solar Smash, which is on iOS.
Yeah. Any games you've been playing with your big brother?
Apart from Dirty Bomb, not much.
You've been playing some Dirty Bomb. You've been playing some Gary's Mod, right? Doing
On
some
my
weird
own.
stuff in that.
I've played Half-Life 2 a lot.
Been playing a lot of Half-Life 2. And what else have you been playing? Minecraft, of course.
Yes.
And
Roblox.
And a lot of Roblox. So that's pretty much been your year in gaming.
Yes.
Aside from some of the other games we're going to be talking about today. We've got a bunch of awesome truck games. And at the end, you guys better stay tuned because we're going to feature one of the worst video games ever made.
But it's also one of the best. And it's called Big Rigs Over the Road Racing.
Yes, we showed Logan the Angry Video Game Nerd video, and he liked it so much he begged me to find the game and play it. And I actually found music, and it was really good. Well, I'm not gonna say really good. It was interesting. It was worth sharing on the show. So
yeah, because it is one of the worst games ever.
yeah, so stay tuned to the end of the show for that. That's gonna be a hoot. So I think we've got some crazy games coming up. Some of them are definitely games you would expect us to talk about on a show centered around trucks and truck driving. As usual, I'll probably have one or two obscure ones with some good music that might be new finds for y'all. So when we talk about trucks, Logan, what's your favorite kind of truck? Do you like the off-road trucks? Do you like the tractor trailer trucks? Like which do you prefer to drive?
I like to drive all types of trucks that are in all types of classes. Even a dump truck.
Is there anything in particular about the trucks that you like? Like what makes them so attractive to you?
I mean, I like the Tadorn because it's an 8-wheel truck which is also in one of the games that we're gonna mention today.
Yeah, so you like the real big kind of like amphibious trucks that can do a lot of different things?
It's not really that amphibious. It can't carry a snorkel, so it's only mud.
True.
Mud and road.
Very true. What kind of music are we going to listen to today?
All types of
We've got
music.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
We've got, and I think you're going to hear a lot of like Americana kind of music, a lot of classic rock.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with 2 games in a series of arcade truck games made by Sega, which I believe most of you would expect to hear from in this show. So we're going to jump off with our music, and we're going to listen to Stage 3, Las Vegas to Dallas. This is from the game 18-Wheeler American Pro Trucker. This came out on the arcade, the Dreamcast, the GameCube, the PS2, all in the year 2000, composed by Keisuke Tsukahara and Tomoya Koga.
Let's take a listen. Now.
All right, we're back. That was Stage 3, Las Vegas to Dallas from 18-Wheeler American Pro Trucker from the arcade, Dreamcast, GameCube, and PS2, composed by Keisuke Tsukahara and Tomoya Koga. Cool game, huh?
Yep.
We just played this a little while ago. You played it for the first time. What'd you think of it?
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
A little hard.
A little bit hard. We were playing on the easy mode, and it was still tough to get to those checkpoints, right?
Yeah. You failed about, 5 times?
Something like that. Per stage.
Yeah. So, 20 times total.
Yeah, but then you got the hang of it. I turned the controller over to you, and you were playing. You got through, 3 or 4 stages, right?
2 stages.
Yeah, I'm counting. There. So in between each stage, you have to park your truck in the garage.
So, yeah, that was about 3 stages.
Yeah. So how do you play this game?
Well, you're a truck. You can choose which trailer, as in, there's light trailers and then heavy trailers. I usually go for the light ones because it makes an easier path.
Yeah.
But the hard ones are really heavy, and you're pretty much going to lose to the rival every time.
Yeah, so that rival, you remember his name?
Oh.
Lizard Tail. So you're trying to get from one location to the other. There's 4 stages, and it plays kind of like, I don't know, it's got a very Crazy Taxi feel. It came out around that same time of, like those Sega arcade games. Everything's very fast and very kind of exaggerated, and you are just a regular old American trucker trying to make a living, and you keep getting hounded by this quote-unquote #1 trucker in the USA named Lizard Tail. And he's trying to beat you to every single location, so you've got to...
I don't know why it doesn't target anyone else.
I know, he's just like a big bully. He just wants to take you down.
Yeah, he's like, oh, hi, bop, you're dead.
So there's 4 different truckers you can choose from. Each one has their own different style of truck and their own stats, and you can pick the one you like the best. And
Yeah, we usually go with Highway Cat. It's the fastest.
Yeah, Highway Cat's got a smaller truck. She's very nimble, but she slows down more if you hit things, so you got to drive really well with her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And she doesn't have great steering.
I know.
Her steering's like a 2.
You got to slow down a little bit then, but it's okay because she's got good acceleration. So
Yeah, but Golden Horn has great steering, but is like a 2 at speed.
I know. That's one of those big like Peterbilt style trucks.
Yeah, those are meant for heavy hauling.
Exactly.
They're not meant for speed.
Not at all. So we listened to a bunch of the music from this soundtrack, and you picked this song. What'd you like about this one?
It just has that cool rock feeling to it.
Yeah, very groovy, very heavy, chunky kind of guitars. You seem to like that kind of stuff.
I also like electric.
Electric guitars or electric music?
Like
techno.
electro music.
Like dance music?
Yeah.
I do too. But yeah, there's some actually really good stuff on this soundtrack. There's some just American rock like this. There's some very like country sounding stuff, some funky stuff. And there's not too much music because there's only like 4 levels to the game. But there's the parking music, and then some menu tunes. And that's about it. But I really like this one. The soundtrack is good, if not short. Would you recommend other people play this game?
Yes, if you're willing for a challenge, then go with it.
Yeah, for sure. It's like we said, it's even difficult on the easy mode. I think it really has to do a lot with memorization. You have to learn the best path to get, because there's like little shortcuts, and sometimes the routes branch off, and there's these vans that give you 3 more seconds if you hit the vans.
Yeah,
so
but
sometimes even if you
find them.
Well, yeah, sometimes they're out of the way. Sometimes even if you hit the vans, you still get to the checkpoint with like 0 seconds left, and you just barely make it through.
Yeah, but you still get like a minute of time.
It's true. Both of these composers are longtime Sega composers. Keisuke Sukahara started with Sega back in 1988, worked on Cyber Hunter and Galaxy Force. Dark Wizard for the Sega CD, which had a great orchestrated soundtrack, which sounds very different from this. And did a lot of work in their arcade sector too, like F-33 Challenge, Passione Rossa, Virtua Fighter 4, Shenmue 2, Sega Race TV, Let's Go Island, like a lot of these games that you could only find in the arcades. He ended up as a sound director and designer later on in his career, working on Daytona USA, the remake from 2011, and his last game was Soul Reverse in 2018. Tomoya Kogo started later on. He played guitar on Neon Genesis Evangelion Second Impression in 1997, but again, worked mainly on Sega games, also worked on Sega Race TV, the remake of Daytona USA, Virtua Quest, and Virtua Fighter 5, so a lot of Sega's AM2 developed stuff he made music for. Alright, so we are moving on to the sequel to 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. What's next?
We got Stage 3A from The King of Route 66.
This came out in the arcade and the PlayStation 2 in 2003, composed by Fumio Ito, Sachio Ogawa, and again, Tomoya Koga.
This is one of the first times we got 3 composers on one song.
It's true, this is a huge soundtrack, so I'm sure they needed a lot of composers to make music for it.
Yeah.
Alright, be right back.
Bye-bye. That was Stage 3A from The King of Route 66.
Yep, that came out on the arcade and PS2 in 2003, composed by Fumio Ito, Sashio Ogawa, and our dear friend Tomoya Koga.
Just in case you forgot.
Just our best friends. King of Route 66, this game was cool, right?
Yeah.
What'd you like about this one? Well, how is this one different from the 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker game?
I mean, the graphics are a lot better.
Yeah, that's true. This one's got full widescreen support as opposed to the Dreamcast and the GameCube version that we played for 18-wheeler.
Yeah, which uses that old Panasonic TV that we have.
Yeah, designed for CRT TVs.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else? So how else is this game different though?
There's other characters and more than just one rival.
Yeah, for sure. This has a whole story mode, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking to different characters. It's almost got like a little bit of a visual novel feel at times, which I didn't expect from this game at all. In this game, instead of just Lizard Tail, there's a whole organization called Tornado that you're, I think, mostly the same characters except a additional Japanese character called Ichiban is kind of facing off against. So you can select 5 different trucks, and then the Tornado guys are all like just this big trucker gang that want to get all the jobs before you do. And so you're constantly kind of struggling against them and protecting the citizens of the city from them. And who were some of the members of Tornado that were like your favorites?
Hot Dog.
Hot Dog?
Yeah, the first rival.
Oh, come on, Annie. You know you're only supposed to give jobs to Hot Dog. Tornado's #1 trucker.
You won't be getting any more jobs from me. Please, you must get to the goal before Hot Dog does.
What? Let's settle this on the road, man. Then we'll see how good you are.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
There was Hot Dog, and who else was there? There was Killer Bee,
Yeah.
right? What was he like? You remember?
He was the person who said he drives good. But no, he drives all sloppy, trying to throw barrels at us.
Yeah, he had a very proper English accent.
What a pity. You can't understand my beautiful driving. Well, if you can't understand by watching, I'll try beating it into you.
Yeah.
He's like, my driving is beautiful. It was not very beautiful.
No, it was terrible.
And who was the last guy that we fought against?
I don't remember.
The steak guy, do you remember
Oh,
him?
yeah. T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Yeah.
And he wanted steaks.
Roar, give me my steak.
I'm T-Bone the Tornado. I ain't gonna let you deliver my steaks. You're going down.
Wanted our shipment of steaks. It's really funny. It's actually pretty well written. It's kind of over the top, but it was a big step up from the original 18-wheeler. There's a couple different types of gameplay as well. The cities are more, I'm not going to say like open world, but it's an actual like section of city blocks, and you have to like make your way from a start point to an end point and kind of choose which direction you want to go. So there's the ability to go backwards. It's not like a very linear race like 18-wheeler was. There's stages that have no time limit, and you basically just have to get there before your rival does. There are stages where it's like a time trial, and it's just you without a trailer, and you have to get from one point to the other as fast as you can. What was the other one? There was one more.
The queen of...
Oh, that's a whole different game mode. But the other kind of gameplay was just a standard kind of 18-wheeler game where you're just racing down a more or less a straight linear track against your rival. And then, so there's the King of Route 66 game, and then there's an entirely other game called the Queen of Route 66, which is like basically the console version of it with new missions. You have a shop where you can upgrade and tune your truck. You can choose which missions you want to do. Lots of different things to fight. It's all like kind of like a game show situation. It was really weird. We only played a little bit of that. We played a lot of the King version first, but that one looks really cool.
And you only got 10 gems instead of all the 15.
Oh, I know. The first mission, I had to go around the map looking for gems, and I just didn't get it. Just messed up. Again, I think it's another thing where you have to kind of memorize where they are so that you can find your best route through the city to find all the gems, because the time limits are really constrictive. So which of the two games do you like better, and why do you like it better?
I mean, the King of Route 66 is, of course, better. Better graphics, better gameplay, more game modes.
What about the music?
Better. Way better.
A lot better production, a lot more different types of music.
Yeah.
We listen to, again, some real funky stuff. We listen to some jazz. We listen to some country. You tend to like the hard rock stuff, so that's what we picked for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you like about this song?
Like I said in the last one, it has a cool rock feeling to it.
Cool rock feeling? You said you really like that guitar solo at the end too, right?
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's very good stuff. This one, I would definitely recommend you check out for sure on the PS2. It has a lot of content. It's super fun. I was really surprised. I thought it was just going to be kind of a graphical upgrade to 18-wheeler, but they packed in a whole lot of content on this game. So I think we're going to sit down and play some more of it later.
Yep.
For sure. So again, mostly Sega composers worked on this game. Fumio Ito, mostly AMD2 stuff. Again, Sega Race TV, Virtua Fighter 4, Daytona USA Remake. A lot of these guys all worked on the same games together. And Sashio Ogawa was one of the composers on Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Also worked on Dark Wizard, Virtua Cop 3, the Outrun series, and Shenmue 1 and 2 as well. So, big name Sega composers with big name Sega games composing a not so big name soundtrack. Makes sense, right? All right, so you've been very excited to talk about this one. What do we got coming up next?
Here we have the truck game of all truck games. The most countries, most missions, and well...
Most trucks?
Yeah. Let it speak for itself. It's SnowRunner.
Yep, this is Michigan Day 1 from SnowRunner. This has released on the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch starting in 2020. Composed by Steve Mollitz, Citrus Prana, Mikhail Kotov, and Vitaly Shirkov. This is a very chill track. This whole soundtrack is really, really chill. We picked one of the most musical ones out of the bunch.
The state with the most chill music has got to be Lake Covden, Alaska.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that when we come back. But yeah, Michigan is one of the... it is actually the first map that you play on, kind of like the training map. And it's got some very, shoegazy kind of music, I guess is the best way I could describe it. So take a listen. We'll be right back.
was Michigan Day 1 from SnowRunner.
Yeah, that came out on the PC, PS4, Xbox One, just came out on the Switch, starting in 2020, composed by Steve Molitz, Citrus Prana, Mikhail Kotov, and Vitaly Cherkov. Logan is giddy right now. This game is so good. We've been playing this game together for, I don't know, so many hours, hundreds of hours at this point, probably.
Yeah. As the name says, it's SnowRunner. You get to run in snow.
Oh, you just put on your snowshoes and you jog around?
No.
So originally, the first game in the series was called Spin Tires, and then there was a game called Mud Runner, and they're all kind of the same style game. They've just kind of refined the gameplay each time, and I think this one is really where they nailed the gameplay. So what do you do in this game?
You do missions and tasks to try to complete each map.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can imagine like Grand Theft Auto, where you're in a big city and there's a bunch of people all over the city with different things that they want you to do. I mean, that's essentially kind of what SnowRunner is, except the map is giant swaths of like untamed land with sporadic buildings, and in between these buildings are giant areas of muddy trails and icy trails and snow and mountains and trees, and you have these super capable trucks that you need to find, purchase, upgrade, and get from place to place and do these missions, and it's just really good. What's your favorite part about SnowRunner? Like, why do you like playing it so much?
It's just insane. It's just an insane truck game.
Like, what's your favorite thing to do in the game, though?
Stack cars.
Yeah, but you like finding the trucks, right? You like you like doing the exploring part.
Yeah.
So you like going into a new map. When you go into a new map, most of it is black, and you can't see much. And how do you open up parts of the map?
Watchtowers. It's a tower that you watch above, and, well, it lets you explore a certain distance on pretty much what you're looking at.
Yeah, so you have to figure out how to get to these watchtowers. And then when you get to them, it'll open up a big circle around the watchtower and open up that part of the map. It doesn't necessarily open it. You can still drive in it even if it's black, but it will show you what's in that area. So you can see all the different trails, you can see all the missions pop up, and so that you can get there and navigate a little bit more easily, right? And so you like exploring the map and getting to all the watchtowers and doing that stuff. What other ways can you highlight parts of the map?
The prototype radar trailer.
Yeah, so how does that work?
Well, it's a trailer for scouts only that you can...
Well, what are scouts?
Small trucks that don't have flatbeds.
Okay.
Well, the only truck that has a flatbed is the Ford F-750, but that's a DLC. Scouts are basically trucks that you can use to get across maps easily. The prototype radar trailer is basically what it sounds like. It's a prototype radar trailer. If you open up the functions, go down into Operate, click the Use Radar, and then you just press Y, and I can't show you what it does, but,
But
it acts like a watchtower.
I was just going to say that. It acts pretty much like a portable watchtower. If you activate it, it uses a little bit of your fuel, but it will open up a smaller circle around the trailer itself, but you can see more of the map around you. You don't have to go to watchtowers to be able to uncover pieces of the map.
Yeah, but it doesn't use your fuel. It has its own fuel tank, which uses 32 gallons.
Yeah. And fuel is dynamic, too. You can use your truck to fuel it up. You can find a big fuel tanker in the wild somewhere, and you can use that fuel to fuel it up.
Roof racks.
You go out there with a roof rack and have spare fuel on your roof. The graphics...
Go to a fuel station.
Or you can go to a fuel station, yeah. The graphics in the game are absolutely amazing. The lighting is brilliant. The levels look almost photorealistic. And what's the cool thing about the ground?
The ground has pretty cool textures. Especially the mud. When you drive in it, it like pushes to the sides.
Yeah, exactly. It's deformable in real time. So you can make tracks through the snow. You can clear off the snow with one truck and make it easier for a second truck to get through it. Mud can be like have pools of water inside them, or it can
Have cracked ice.
It can have cracked ice, which you can get stuck in. And then, what's the coolest part of it? How do you get yourself unstuck from things?
You winch. It's easy.
Yeah, so you can
You press
attach
triangle.
You can attach a rope to a close by stable area, and you can winch yourself out. How else can you get out of stuff when you get stuck?
You can take another truck out there and winch it to the truck that's stuck. The stuck truck.
Right. You can get another truck to pull yourself out of the bog and switch between both trucks. You can tow one truck behind the other. Like you said, car stacking. You can take like a really big truck with a flatbed and put 2 scouts on the back and carry them into an area or a different map. There's so much cool stuff to do. So many missions to complete. So many contracts. There's logging. There's carrying huge pieces of airplanes from place to place.
And the new map, Amur, lets you launch a rocket into space.
Yeah, you are building but you're building a giant missile silo in the Russian tundra. And,
Well, it's just a normal rocket.
oh, just a normal rocket?
Yeah.
Just
why would you carry a missile on a big train?
It's happened before.
Yeah, but to a space station? Like a station where you launch a rocket into space?
I don't know. I don't know what the exact reason why they're launching the rocket is, but...
To go to the moon. Or the ISS.
Oh, I thought it was like a missile. You're telling me it's a spacecraft?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought the reasons were a little more destructive. But it sounds like they're pretty creative.
Destructive reasons.
So, who do you think should play SnowRunner?
Everyone. Especially people who like trucks.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be seeing a lot of them.
It's a lot of strategy. It's a lot of patience. You need to play this game, right?
Yes.
Have you found you're becoming more patient with video games after playing this one?
No.
No?
I still love every single game.
Do you think this game is teaching you to be able to appreciate a slower pace and slow goings to do missions instead of everything going fast all the time, like 18-wheeler?
No, I like to go insanely fast.
Oh, okay. But you really like this game, and you go mostly slow in this game.
I mean, that's because I'm trying to complete missions without tipping over.
That's fair. That's fair.
Installing the engine.
Yeah. So it's not a game for people who are into fast. There's a lot of slogging through mud, but there's also a lot of really cool, like, crawling over mountains and rocks and stuff, and a lot of finding and driving really, really cool trucks and upgrading their suspensions and their tires and picking the right tires and stuff. What about the soundtrack? What is it like a hard rockin' soundtrack?
No, it's like soft rock.
Yeah. Like I said before, it's a little bit shoegazy. This is a little bit more on the rock side, this particular track, but there's a lot of stuff that's just very textured and kind of lazy sounding, and it's perfect for the pace of the game, I think.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, rock and techno would be a good fit for this game?
I mean, not unless you're going through a racetrack, no. Which there
Yeah.
actually is a racetrack.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
is.
the,
Oh, for the trial mode, right?
No, for mods. The
gotcha.
Super Stadium track.
Gotcha. So, anyways, SnowRunner is awesome. Maybe we'll play some more music from it in the future, but we totally recommend you definitely try it out.
Yes.
All right, so now we're moving into another favorite of yours, right? I think at least the people on my Discord have heard me talk about this one before. What do we got coming up?
We got War from Wreckfest.
Yep, this one came out on the PC, PS4, and the PS5 in 2018. This is it's a licensed track, but it's really good. It's composed by the Moex, featuring Matt Litwin and Marcus Clavin.
Let's take a listen.
Can't hide, can't speak, I could smell your fear. You're feeling weak now. Try running, you'll just hit the wall. Cause I will make you feel your heartbeat. And all you did was raise the beast in me. I used to hide my ways before. But you made me go to wartime hills. But I will make you feel all the pain that's in the world. And tonight we're going to war. Someday we'll be in harmony. Swear I always wanted peace, but tonight we're going to war. You know this game is not worth that kingdom, 'cause I am more than you can handle. But I will find you wherever you go. Whoa. Then I'll destroy you in a heartbeat. I'm not a slave to all the words you speak. It was fun in games before. But you made me go to wartime hills. But I will make you feel all the pain that's in the world. And tonight we're going to war. Someday we'll be in harmony. Swear I always wanted peace, but tonight we're going to war. Tonight we're going to war.
That was War from Wreckfest.
Yep, they came out on the PC, PS4, and PS5 in 2018, composed by the Moex, featuring Matt Litwin and Marcus Clavin. A lot of music in this game. We've played this probably even more than SnowRunner, I think.
No.
No, you think you've played SnowRunner more?
Yeah, I think I've played SnowRunner for like 200 hours.
I wouldn't doubt it at this point. Because with SnowRunner, we have it on my computer, and then you bought it for your computer upstairs.
Then we have it on the Switch.
And yeah, I just gave it to you on the Switch, so yeah, so there's a lot of snow running going on.
Yeah. I'm gonna go run in some snow. Bye.
Bye! I don't think there's any snow outside. It's the middle of May.
2 hours later.
Almost June.
Hello again.
So, yeah, tell me about the Wreckfest soundtrack.
It's cool.
Mostly like vocal songs, right?
Yeah.
So this game was originally a Kickstarter game, and they were asking for funding from the gamers on the internet to help provide money so they could develop it. And while they were doing that, they had an open call for music. They said, hey, if you got a cool band, if you got a good rock sound, submit your music, and we will take a listen to it, and we will pick the top 20 submissions and pay you for your song. So this is what happened. The Moex submitted their song to the developers of the game, and they liked it, so they put it in. I remember we listened to the soundtrack so much, and when we found that somebody had put together the soundtrack on Spotify, and there was like 20 tracks, we were like, no, there's not 20 pieces of music in this game, there's like 4 or 5. And we went through and we listened to every single one of the 20 pieces of music, and we're like, yep, I remember this one. Yep, I've heard this one a lot. Yep, I remember this one. Kind of funny how that works, huh?
Yeah, but we usually hear like 4 while we're playing the game.
Yeah,
in one whole day.
I think they play, a couple of them more often than others, but they were definitely all in there. They're all hard rock tracks. This one I find really interesting because it sounds a little bit rock, a little bit country, a little bit techno, a little bit like maybe a little industrial in there, some dance. It's got like a whole bunch of genres mixed together. It's a pretty unique sounding song. Is that why you like this one? You like the lyrics too, right?
Yeah.
You like singing along?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup.
So, Wreckfest.
It's a fest where you wreck.
Oh boy. Here we go again.
What? That's basically what it is. No jokes this time.
There goes Logan describing the game with the words that are in the title.
And War actually makes sense because in Demolition Derby, boom.
Yeah, I feel like this song was kind of written to be like an anthem for sports or something. Like, you made me go to war, no more fun and games. Like, you made me angry, and now we've got to, battle against each other. So I think this song really fits the game itself. So tell me about the game.
It is a fun game where there's a lot of tracks that you can get via DLC or just for playing it free, and a lot of cool trucks. And basically it's demolition derbies and races and, well, campaign and tournaments. We usually play on the custom races because we only do tournaments and then races against each other.
Yeah.
'Cause he already finished the campaign a long time ago.
Yeah, there was a career mode that I finished, and at that point, Logan, I think you were a little too young to really get into the game that much. I remember back then you were still trying to keep yourself going in the right direction on Mario Kart, so I was like, Wreckfest is not going to be a good game for him yet.
Because I was getting so mad at Mario Kart, even though it's the easiest game.
Yeah, and when you've got tons of cars trying to crash and wreck you off the course, you were going to be way too frustrated. So I waited a little while. Yeah. And when you started getting better at video games, I finally decided that since you loved cars and crashing so much, that Wreckfest would be a great game, and we sat down and we played it. I think this was mostly during like the whole quarantine part last year, and we got really, really into it. So the developers update the races at a certain time every day.
Yeah.
And so by beating these tournament races, you gain fame points, and with fame points, you can purchase custom cars and new paint jobs and stuff. So I remember like 3 o'clock every day you would come downstairs. Well, between 1 and 3 o'clock every day you would come downstairs while I was working from home, and we'd sit on the couch, we'd turn on Wreckfest, and we'd just play through the tournament races together.
And
then we start doing some custom modes. Custom modes is you can choose what course you want to play, which cars you want to play with, and then we would make custom tracks and races for each other, right? We would tell the other person to turn around, and then we would select a bunch of cars and the track and the mode and the difficulty, and then make the other person play it. And we had so much fun doing that.
I mean, we can still do it.
Of course we can. We've been playing a lot of SnowRunner lately, so we haven't been playing as much Wreckfest, but...
Yeah, I probably forgot the controls by now.
Gas and brake and smash and go. I think that's pretty much all you have to remember for Wreckfest.
I mean, smash is... There is no control for that. You just drive into people.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different cars, a lot of different tuning and customization. You can paint your cars and put stickers on them. The physics engine is absolutely great. Cars flip around and dent and pieces fly off, and there's all sorts of crazy stuff that can happen. There's figure 8 courses and stunt courses and regular oval courses, and then there's just the derbies where it's just a big old field where cars bash into each other. What were some of the trucks in this game, since we're on the topic of trucks today?
Yeah, we got the big rig, which is a big rig with a huge spoiler. And then we got the, I don't remember what the name of it, but it's a truck with a skull and...
That's the Doom Rig.
Yeah, the Doom Rig, that.
It's like a Mad Max version of the big rig.
Yeah, there's the Battle Bus, which is basically...
It's an armored short bus.
Yeah, stripped off of Mad Max because it has a plow and skeletons on it.
Yep.
And then there's the step van. And also Bugzilla, which is technically a truck. More a monster.
It's a monster truck, yep.
Yeah. And then the step van is basically what it sounds like.
It's like an ice cream truck or
Yeah.
UPS van, depending on how you wanted to paint it. And then there's some other like off-road vehicles, like was it the Warthog?
The
What's it
Warthog?
called? I don't remember what it's
Sandstorm.
called. Sandstorm?
Yeah, Sandstorm's the one with the rear paddle tires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
it's
there
the
was that
big
military vehicle too, one of the DLCs. I forgot what it was called.
That's the War Digger.
War Digger, that's what it was. Sorry.
And then there's also Mud Digger, which sounds like a SnowRunner truck.
It does. It sounds a lot like one.
I bet you can make Wreckfest trucks into SnowRunner.
You probably could. So tell me a little bit about the customization. Like, why would you want to put certain things on your vehicle in Wreckfest?
First, you would want to make it Class A. That goes the fastest, and it has the most power. so you can ram into people at high speeds. And pretty much wreck them. When you put on armor, it makes your car tougher. Or stronger.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
So what would you use that for?
You would use that for demolition derbies. For races, you would want the lightest but strongest armor you can get.
Yeah.
So you can go fast. I like to use Hellride. That's the track with the biggest jump.
Yeah, and it's got some wall ride stuff too.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And there's a track with a big loop on it. Death Loop. Yep, that was cool. And then what was your favorite derby stadium?
My favorite dirty stadium?
Your dirty stadium? It's pretty dirty.
I mean, yeah. Derby Stadium is Thunderbowl.
Yeah, and that's got like a huge cage going up on either side of it and
Yeah.
some cool bumps and jumps in the middle.
Bump jump.
So Wreckfest is tons of fun, a lot of content. It's got an online mode so you can play against friends or people online.
Or just random people.
And if you play on Steam, there's tons and tons and tons of mods and workshop content too. So there's always more stuff in this game to keep you coming back and playing. Plus some cool music to listen to.
And next we have one of my least favorite. Because it was the hardest game that I've ever played. Mudbog from Double Axle.
Yep, this is...
It's only on arcade.
It came out in 1991 and composed by Yasuko Yamada and Space Creative. Yeah, this is a short little song, but it's a super obscure one that I thought was really cool. So let's take a listen.
Let's not.
You like the music though, right?
I mean, it's okay. It's not as good as other.
Okay, fine. Well, this will be my pick. Thanks.
That was Mudbog from Double Axle.
Yep, that was a Taito arcade game, pretty obscure. Came out in 1991, composed by Yasuko Yamada and Space Creative. I'm not sure if Space Creative was just the organization that Yamada was part of or what, but I don't know of any other. I know Yasuko Yamada was a longtime Taito composer, but I'm not sure what Space Creative is or was or anything. I'm thinking because there's a lot of dialogue in this game, Space Creative might have done the voice editing or voice acting or voice hiring or something like that. Anyways.
Lots of voice.
Lots of voice. There's a lot of voice in this game. And it's pretty good, actually, too. So anyways, Double Axle was a random game that I found while I was searching through the arcade games I had in my arcade game emulator. And I thought that it fit because it is monster truck racing. And I thought it was pretty obscure. Not a lot of people knew about it. And I really liked this tune. What'd you think about it, Logie?
Pretty good.
Any parts you liked?
The part that's pretty much the whole song. The part that goes doo doo.
You like the beginning part? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the solo at the end. I feel like it gets really cool towards the end with the do 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 do. Feels like a somebody playing like a guitar or something. It's just a really good FM jam. This game uses a Motorola 68000 processor with a Z80 coprocessor and a YM2610 sound chip. So all in all, it is more or less identical to the Neo Geo hardware, which I thought was pretty cool, even though it has nothing to do with the Neo Geo system itself. It's just a coincidental combination of sound chip and central processing unit. And it looks like it could be like a Neo Geo game too. It's about the right resolution and graphic fidelity, and it's got a lot of very over-the-top like face animation and stuff. What about the game, dude? What'd you think about it?
Terrible.
Terrible?
Just terrible. I think I played on one of the easiest maps, and it was like insane.
Yeah.
They should change easy to impossible.
Yeah, you're behind this monster truck racing against a whole bunch of other monster trucks, and it's kind of like Outrun, I guess, with, sprites scaling towards you. The whole game is 2D, made of sprites, and a pseudo 3D track. But the track is just littered with giant rocks, and when you hit them, you just smack and stop. And you have to, back up and go around them.
I mean, you don't actually back up. The truck backs up for you.
Yeah, you can turn that on and off in the operator's menu. You can turn on a feature where you need to press a button to reverse to get around it, but I had that on automatic. I can only imagine how much more frustrating it would be if you had to manually get around those rocks when you hit them.
I would just reverse the whole way.
Just back up through the whole track.
Yeah.
That might be cool, actually, to see what's like behind the starting line. Maybe it would cause a glitch and you would just fall infinitely through the stage.
Yeah, but there's only turning mechanics. You can only go left and right. It won't actually flip 3D.
That's right.
So
there's no up and down axis.
If it did, I bet you would just automatically win, because it could just be a full lap.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If it's a full circle.
Yeah, you could go.
Who knows?
I won.
We'll have to try it sometime and see if we can glitch the game out.
Yeah. Just backs out of the map so you can choose another one. That would be kind of lame.
Could do that too. Who knows? But so interesting game, very difficult, but cool soundtrack. Some FM music that hasn't shown up on VGM Rips. Doesn't have a entry in the music player for MAME, so the only way to really listen to the soundtrack is to go into the developer menu on the arcade game itself and kind of use the sound test that's hidden in there, which is how I grabbed the music for this game. So you're not going to hear the soundtrack many other places. Even when you're playing in MAME, do you remember, Logan, you can barely even hear the music. The engine sound is way too loud. I think they have it...
I think you can turn off the engine sound.
That would be good. I think they have the audio very imbalanced in the current version of MAME, so hopefully they'll...
I would want it completely inversed. More music, less engine.
I agree. The music is good. It's kind of jamming. This game was originally called Power Wheels in Japan.
But Power Wheels is already a company.
Yeah. Exactly, that's why they had to change it to Double Axle in the United States.
Yeah, but in Japan, there is no Power Wheels company.
Yeah, it wasn't trademarked there, so they could use it all they wanted to.
Yeah.
So, there are 3 different races at the start, plus a car crushing contest, and you have to beat all of the 3 races and the car crushing contest in order to get to the demolition derby portion of the arcade game. But I don't even know how you would be able to beat those 3 races, considering the easy one is nearly impossible. So I wonder how many people have actually made it to the demolition derby portion of the game.
I'm thinking 400 or 500.
400 or 500 people? I don't know if 400 or 500 people have played this game.
Oh. Then...
It's like an obscure arcade game. It's not like a home game where lots of people have played it.
Then just 3 people.
3 people? Probably. We'll have to go on YouTube and see if we can find a long play and see if anybody's actually beaten the game.
We already did find a long play.
Oh, that's right, we did. That's right, we saw the ending.
Through it.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have to go and see what that Destruction Derby part is all about. That's right, because I was looking for the composer, because the composer is listed nowhere. This game isn't even on Moby Games, so I checked it out and saw that Y Yamada was listed as the composer, and so I cross-referenced that with composers that worked at Taito around the same time, and it turned out our dear friend Yasuko Yamada was working there. And so...
Or is still working there.
Yeah, let's find out.
Because who knows? They could. They might not. I do not know.
So, Yasuko Yamada started at Taito around 1988 on Operation Thunderbolt and New Zealand Story doing sound editing and sound effects. Worked on Violence Fight in 1990, Galactic Storm, did some sound effects for the Guilty Gear series, Guilty Gear X and Guilty Gear X Plus. Escaluda 2, which was a really good shoot-'em-up game. Let's see, the last game he was credited for was Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. Did some music in 2009. So, been out of the music composing business for about a decade or so. Turned into a ninja. Poof. Disappeared.
Unless he doesn't work on music anymore.
That's true.
That could also make sense.
That's very true. Alright, so... couple more tracks to get through before we're done. What else we got, sir?
We got Spider Alley from Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge.
Yeah.
Only a couple trucks in here.
Yeah, it's a cool racing game with some trucks in it. This is a PS2 and Xbox release, came out in 2004.
And composed by Steve Collette.
Yes, aka Steve Rocket.
Rocket?
Yeah, Rocket.
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 Rocket, Rocket.
Let's rock it, Rocket.
Imagine if you had a rock named Rocket.
Then he'd be your Rock Rocket.
Rock Rocket. Yeah. That was Spider Alley from Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge. It came on the PS2 Xbox in 2004, composed by Steve Collette. Not to be confused with Steve from Minecraft collecting.
Steve Collector?
Yes.
Sure, that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to be confused with Minecraft Steve. I don't think Minecraft Steve made any soundtracks for games.
No.
No. It's been a while since we picked this track, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we've actually ever picked this track before. I think this is the first time.
Well, I would hope not. This wouldn't be a Kirby song or a Echo the Dolphin song or any of the other episodes you've been on. So what'd you like about this track? Why'd you pick it?
Because it has a nice techno feeling to it. That's a frog.
Yeah, we have a froggy outside. It's been so rainy, they're probably out hanging out.
Wet trees.
Frog guest.
What was that game? That game with the,
Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge.
No. Remember that game that we, like that frog game where it was like frog golf?
Of course.
What is that?
Ribbit King.
Oh, right.
Like one of the greatest games ever made.
I
I'm not kidding.
I don't really think it's the greatest because I've played many other great games.
I said one of the greatest.
Oh, not the greatest.
One of my favorite games, anyways.
Same.
So we're getting way off topic here.
Alright, so back to talking about this.
Yes.
It's a Hot Wheels game. If you don't know what Hot Wheels is, it's basically just toy cars. Small toy cars.
And they have dinner with each other and talk about their girlfriends.
What? What is that?
I don't know. What do small toy cars do?
They race.
Oh, duh.
Like, why wouldn't they?
I mean, this is one of those games where the title actually does really describe what it does. Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge.
The reason it's called Hot Wheels is because after it drives that much, it has hot wheels.
Sure, okay.
Because it burns its rubber.
Yeah, and the reason it's called Stunt Track Challenge is because there are stunt tracks and there are challenges.
Challenge accepted. That is one of their slogans. One of their
true.
many slogans.
Did you know they're actually making a new Hot Wheels racing game?
What is it?
It's just called, I don't know, let me look it up.
It's just called, I don't know, let me look it up.
It's called Hot Wheels, I don't know, let me look it up.
Great! Okay, that's funny.
Hot Wheels Unleashed is what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's gonna have super modern, up-to-date HD graphics and lots of cars and online races and all sorts of cool stuff.
So it's coming on September
27th. Yep.
I think we'll put that in our next car podcast.
Well, we'll have to see if we like the music, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course we're gonna like at least one music from games.
I hope so.
Why wouldn't we?
I mean, some soundtracks just have games that, or some games. Getting all
Some
backwards.
soundtracks that have games are not that good.
Some games have soundtracks that I just don't care for very much. But if you like the music, then we can definitely put it in a show. Sure. I don't see why not. Yeah. So Hot Wheels Unleashed coming out September 27th for the PS4, the Switch, the Xbox One, PC, and the Xbox Series X and the PS5. So all sorts of different stuff.
The Series S is like one of the newest Xboxes, along with Series X.
Yeah, exactly. It's being made by the guys who did MotoGP and Monster Supercross and Ride. So they have a large pedigree of racing games under their belt already. So hopefully this new Hot Wheels game will be pretty good.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. But anyways, let's get back to Stunt Track Challenge.
It's an old game.
It's one of the better Hot Wheels games. There's a lot of not that great Hot Wheels games out there, but this is one of the more fun ones. And like you said, the soundtrack is good. Great techno feel.
Yeah.
It has a very early 2000s sound to it. It's got that kind of big beat drum kit going with some knob tweaky keyboard lead sounds.
Stuff.
Yeah, those
Just
keyboards that go wow, wow, wow. That's very early.
I like the part where it goes do 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 do. Broop.
Oh, the little, like, industrial sound effect.
Yeah, like, I think if spiders were bigger, that's the sound that they would make.
Yeah,
Like,
that might be.
like just the part that goes.
Yeah. And this is called Spider Alley because it goes through, it's the
Alley
track.
with spiders.
Yeah, well, it's track. I think it goes through like an attic area and then down in between two houses, so it's got a very spooky kind of a
Yeah,
feel. It's not
there's-
Halloween spooky, but it's a little creepy.
Yeah, there's spiders in the attic, and then you go through an alley between the two houses.
Exactly.
That's why it's called Spider Alley.
Do you know which trucks are in this game, since we're talking about trucks?
Mega Duty. If Mega Duty is in this game, then that's of course gonna be a truck. Why would that be a race car?
I don't know.
So of course that's a truck.
Mega Duty is it's kind of like a raised pickup truck. Most of the trucks that are in it are like pickup truck style.
Yeah.
They're,
And Scooby Doo is a van.
Yeah,
aka
Scooby-Doo.
truck.
They are trucks that need to be able to keep up with all the exotic Hot Wheels cars that are in the game. But again, loops, jumps, all sorts of crazy challenges and stuff in this game. But the soundtrack is great. Steve Collette, also known as Steve Rocket, has done games and music since 1991. Stuff like Wolfchild, Alien 3, ports of Mortal Kombat 2, Jelly Boy, X-Men Mutant Academy.
He did Jelly Boy twice.
Yep, 2 different versions of the game. Did some of the Lego games, Lego Island 2, The Brickster's Revenge.
Double X-Men Mutant Academy.
Yep, Cruisin' Exotica. He's worked for a ton of very high-profile game companies doing some high-profile games.
Okay, CSR, that is a mobile game.
Yep, yeah, he's done mobile games as well. ATV Off-Road Fury. And lately he worked on Forza Street and 2020's Murder by Numbers as a member of his sound company, The Rider Sound.
I think if we stacked all the DVDs of truck games, we would reach the moon.
You think there's that many truck games out
Yeah.
there? Maybe you're right, or at least games with trucks in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to some of my picks for the end of the show. Of course, I got to throw in some Euro Truck Simulator 2.
And
because,
American Truck Simulator. You still got to do that one.
Yep. Tons of hours dumped into both of these games, and these are my escape from the real world into a different real world. So we're going to listen to Menu 2 from Euro Truck Simulator 2. This was originally released in 2013, but they are still pumping out new content in the form of new states that you can drive around in as recently as like last month. The soundtrack was composed by Andrei Macieka. We'll be right back. All right, we are back celebrating trucks and racing and truck racing and racing trucks
Yeah.
with Euro Truck Simulator 2. That was Menu 2, composed by Andre Macheka.
You actually got the title wrong. It's actually Menu 4.
Is it Menu 4?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If you click back to it.
You're right, it's Menu 4. Okay, I'll
Just
have to
edit
update
that little bit out. Menu 4.
So that was Menu 4 from Euro Truck Simulator 2, released on the PC in 2013, composed by Andre Macheka. I believe that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
So, we've been talking a lot about trucks and a lot
Yeah.
of crashing trucks and trucks doing crazy stuff. This is the most regular truck game you can possibly get. You've seen me play this game, right?
Yeah. I've also seen you play American Truck Simulator.
Yep.
Made by the same people.
Yeah, we'll be featuring that next. So, how would you describe Euro Truck Simulator 2?
I don't know, I've never played it. You should be the one describing
Well,
it.
you've been watching me play it. I was just
I mean-
wondering from your perspective.
I've only watched you play American Truck Simulator. I don't really remember you playing.
Okay, that's fine.
Euro.
Well, the games are very similar, but Euro Truck Simulator is... It's like it sounds. It's a truck simulator, and you're in Europe, and it's the second one. It's about as realistic as you can get without it seeming to be more like work.
Yeah, like SnowRunner.
Yeah, I mean, SnowRunner can feel like work sometimes, but it's all in all fun. But when you're driving a truck down a highway like this one, it takes a lot of the little tedious things out of the way so that you can kind of enjoy the fun parts about
Yeah.
trucking. The trucks are very realistic. I mean, you can get really, really deep into this game. So you basically sit in a truck that you've purchased, and it's first-person view. You've got your steering wheel in front of you, and there are scaled-down, real-life maps of European countries. It actually goes into Scandinavia. It goes into a little bit of Russia, and some of the, like, beyond the eastern borders of Europe. And there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kilometers of road. And you basically pick a job. You go take your cab over to the warehouse. You pick up your trailer and you back in. You have to do it very, very
Carefully.
carefully, yes. And get your load and take it to the next location. And you get some money. And along the way, you can stop at abandoned truck warehouses and you can purchase them, and they can become your truck bases, and you can hire people to work at them and give them trucks, and you earn money along the way. The
So yeah,
graphics
the
are
actual trucking bit is basically like 18-wheeler or, well, King of Route 66. Just not racing.
yeah. Although in those games, you can crash into things and slam into cars, and the cars just go flying. And like if you get into an accident in Truck Simulator, it's a real accident. You have
that's
to,
what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it's close to it.
Yeah, exactly. I love this game. I've been playing, I don't know if it's been since 2013, but probably since at least like 2015 or so. And back then it was just pretty much the UK and maybe a little bit of mainland Europe. And since then, they've been adding more and more countries and more areas to the game as DLC. And they charge you a little bit, and you open up these large swaths of land. They just came out with the Iberian Peninsula, which is, do you know what that is?
No.
That is Spain and Portugal. And there are 49 different cities that you can stop in between those two countries in the game. And it's great. You can just put on some music, you can put on a podcast. I love it so much I went out and got a whole steering wheel set up with a controller panel on the side with buttons that I can use to unhook my trailer and put on my lights and my high beams and stuff like that. And it's like this whole crazy thing I got going, and it feels realistic. And I've even got a little hacky thing going where I can use the PlayStation VR helmet to play the game too. So it feels super realistic when you do that, because between that and the gas pedals and the wheel, it's super immersive.
Too bad we don't have an actual VR helmet.
I know, those are expensive. Maybe
Yeah.
one day.
then
that'd
I
be
can
fun.
play Roblox in VR.
Oh, God.
What?
I can only imagine the chaos that Roblox VR is. So what do you think of the song?
Pretty good. I mean, it is a little techno. That's...
A little
Pretty
bit.
cool.
It like moves from genre to genre.
Yeah, it has like some rock feeling to it and a little like tech feeling to it.
Yeah.
Because of the background noises.
Yeah, it's got that little squeaky background,
Yeah.
scratchy stuff.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's...
Yeah,
yeah.
like little mice, like scratching on turntables in the background. That's what I kind of imagine.
That's funny.
Little dead mouse helmets. But yeah, it's fun. The music is great. You don't really listen to the music while you're driving. These soundtracks only play when you're in menus. So whether you're just starting up the game, whether you're upgrading your truck, whether you're looking at your map to get your next mission. But the cool thing about the game is there's a built-in radio which can use streaming radio stations on the internet. All you have to do is plug in the streaming address of the radio station. And so from within the game, you can switch between internet streaming radio stations so you can listen to your favorite radio while you play the game. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mostly I just fire up like foobar or a music player on my computer and I just play that in the background while I'm driving along. But yeah, I've listened to podcasts, I've listened to music, I've listened to radio while playing the game, and it feels super realistic. When you're just driving down the road or driving your big truck, the line between video game playing and reality blurs a little bit. You kind of think that you're almost doing it in real life because everything looks so realistic. It's not like you're driving spaceships around and stuff. So it's a great escape from long, stressful days to just get in your truck and drive around for a little bit and look at the sights. And it tells you a lot about the countries, too, because you get to learn the different architecture, you get to learn the different street rules for every country in Europe, you learn the geography of where all the cities are and all the countries in relationship to each other. It's like a little geography lesson along with your game playing. Any more thoughts before we move on to our next very similar title?
Not really.
Tons of real trucks, too. They're all modeled after real trucks with real interiors.
Yeah.
You can put some crazy paint jobs and body kits and accessories on them, but they took all of the trucks and borrowed them from the manufacturers themselves, recorded their engine sounds, and photographed their panels and stuff and made them into photorealistic textures for the trucks. Thought you might find that interesting.
Yes.
So enthusiastic. All right, so let's move on to a slightly different version of this game by the same company. We're going to listen to Desktop 1 from American Truck Simulator. This was released 3 years later on the PC in 2016. Again, composed by Andrzej Maciejka. Truckers Unite! That was Desktop 1 from American Truck Simulator, released on the PC in 2016. Again, composed by Andrei Mocheka. The song is Many Things All at Once.
Yes, it is.
What kinds of sounds and music did you hear in this one?
Techno, Southern rock, that's pretty much all I heard.
Yeah. I think it mixes like dance and rock really, really well. There are some places where you're like, oh, it's turning into a techno song. And then the drums and the guitar come back in and you're like, whoa, how does this dude mix these two types of music so well with each other? Usually you don't hear electronics in Southern rock very much that I'm aware of. Ironically, I think the only other time I've heard it is the War song we played from Wreckfest.
Yeah.
That has kind of a Southern rock / techno vibe too, so maybe that's a thing with trucks. Maybe techno Southern rock is a trucker kind of song style.
Who knows?
I guess. So, American Truck Simulator is not that much different from Euro Truck Simulator 2, except, as you might imagine, it takes place
In America. Duh.
It started in California, and then they added on Nevada and New
I
Mexico.
don't know why they went from left to right.
They started
That's
on the
weird.
West Coast. And, well, basically what I read in an interview was that the development company, SCS Software, they are based out of the Czech Republic in Prague. They were going to go to the United States to start taking photographs and getting a feel for the area so that they can make the game feel authentically American. And it was in the middle of winter when they did that. That's just the way it worked out, and they decided that California would be a much easier place to go to and take pictures in than on the East Coast, where there would be snow and super, super cold temperatures. So it makes sense. It was just kind of luck that it ended up going on the West Coast first, because the temperature was easier to travel around in. Make sense?
I don't know.
Would you rather be super cold and working, or would you rather be like warm and sunny and working?
I'd probably be cold because I do not want to be hot while working. That would just make me way more working.
Way more sweaty.
Yes.
That makes sense. Okay, I
So,
get
yeah.
you. You're a cold guy?
Yeah, I like cold.
Fair enough.
But also warmth.
But not while working.
No.
Okay. You'd rather be in the sprinkler and the warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd rather be buried in the snow when you're cold.
Why would I be buried in the snow while
Oh,
cold?
you'd rather be driving around in a truck with the window down. With your head out the window. Catching all the snow in your mouth.
Being like a train driver. Like in one of those old steam trains.
That would be cool.
Yeah, you have to stick your head out the side window because there is no window in the front.
Yeah, that's true. So you said you watched me play this game a little bit. Did you think
Yeah.
it looked realistic?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one feels obviously much more familiar to me because the rules of the road are American, and we're driving American trucks that we see rolling around on the roads all the time. Peterbilt and Kenmore and Volvo and all of those manufacturers that make the super cool trucks that we see. International, they do a truck in here too. And, the cargo's more authentic, too. So it's cool because us living on the East Coast, I've never really been on the West Coast that much. I've only been to Las Vegas on the western side of the country. So it's neat to kind of drive around in those areas. And I know that some of you listening are from the West Coast, like Washington and stuff. So it would be fun to kind of drive around those areas, maybe online, and see, like streaming it and seeing if the people that live in those areas can recognize landmarks or roads, because they're supposed to be pretty accurate. They're not a one-to-one scale, but they do stitch important parts of the highway system together and kind of leave out parts in the middle, so the travel time is a little bit less. Obviously, you're not going to want to do like a 48-hour trip from one side of the country to the other in a video game, although that would kind of be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably fall asleep. The game is fantastic. It feels so much like a real truck. It's not even funny. It feels so realistic that sometimes when I'm driving my car, I take turns wider because I forget that I'm not carrying a trailer behind me, so that it's not going to like run over the sidewalk as I go around the corner. But I think it's made me a better driver too, because now I understand more what truck drivers on the highway have to deal with and how maneuverable their vehicles are. So if I see a truck, I make sure to know to give them enough room to be able to, navigate.
Yeah, trucks are very common around here.
Extremely common around here. And they're on side roads, they're on highways, they're on main roads.
They're everywhere.
Yep. And they're just trying to do their job. So we got to respect them, right?
And planning to take over the world.
Would you want to be a truck driver someday?
Yes.
Yeah?
If it was an off-road truck.
Oh, okay. So you'd rather be a snow runner truck driver
Yes.
than an American Truck Simulator truck driver.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's understandable. I think it would be fun too. Dangerous, but fun.
Yeah.
Because snow runner trucks tip over a lot. You don't really see tipped over American Truck Simulator trucks. Or tractor-trailer trucks. If a tractor-trailer truck tips over, it's a big deal.
Tractor-trailer truck trips over. Trips over.
Did it trip over a banana? So anyways,
Yeah,
a little
Mario
bit...
Kart.
So anyways, a little about Andrei Macheka. He works for SCS Software currently. Before that, he was working on the Arma series and the Operation Flashpoint series. SCS Software, before they created the Truck Simulator series, they did the 18 Wheels of Steel games, which some of you guys might have seen in the bargain bins in your local PC game stores.
I don't think I've ever seen an actual bargain bin.
Well, yeah, because they don't really sell PC games in stores anymore, but these games came out 2005, 2006, when you weren't even born yet, so... But yeah, so Big Rig Europe, the couple of hunting games, Arma 2, and then the Truck Simulator games started coming out around 2010. UK Truck Simulator, German Truck Simulator. The first Euro Truck Simulator was very simple. They didn't really like the engine that they had built the game on that much, so that's why they released Euro Truck Simulator 2 with a fully upgraded and updatable engine. Since it's come out, they've been able to enhance the engine, enhance the lighting, make it perform better, so it's scalable, which is much better than their original game was, and they were able to adapt it to the American maps as well as the European maps.
And you also forgot another truck game, Big Rig Europe.
Big Rig Europe. Never heard of it, but it was developed by SCS Software, so I think this was mainly what Euro Truck Simulator, like the original one, was. I think it might have just been the European name for it. Basically the same dudes. Anyways, Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator are both built on the same engine. They look identical to each other in terms of graphics and menus and stuff. So that's why one has a 2 in front of it and the other one does not. Our next track is from an obscure Amiga game. We're going to listen to the title theme from International Truck Racing. This was an Amiga game that came out in 1993, composed by William Hensel. right, Quit Your Head Bangin', that was the title theme from International Truck Racing, released on the Amiga in 1993, composed by William Hensel.
Good music, not good game.
Yeah, you like this tune?
Yes.
Yeah, you were jamming out. Hardcore. What'd you like about this one?
It's just so good. It's like a very hard rock and lots of guitar solos.
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot longer than I expected it to be, and it was super, aggressive sounding.
Yeah, instead of guitar solos, maybe it should be called guitar duos, because there's two.
That's true. Guitar duets. But yeah, just nothing but drums and sampled guitars kind of squealing and going nuts in both speakers.
Yeah, and then some weird bassy type of guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know what that instrument is.
I really liked it. It felt like, I don't know, Tim Fallon on a really, really bad day or something like that.
Who?
Oh, Tim Fallon, one of my favorite composers. But he writes rock chiptune, but much more bright and happy sounding for the most part. This sounds like just really angry and aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. All William Hensel has done as far as video game music goes, besides International Truck Racing, is another game called Graham Souness Vector Soccer, and that came out the year previously, also for the Amiga.
That is the weirdest sounding name ever.
Yeah, I don't know who Graham Souness, Souness is. Must have been a popular soccer player, but yeah. So maybe we'll have to listen to the music to that and see if it sounds similar to this one. So tell me a little bit about this game.
It's a 2D truck racing game, and the controls are really confusing. Plus, 5 laps on one course. Okay, now you're just begging to be a hardcore Let's Play on it.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to see somebody speed run this one, right?
Yeah. Like they would hack into the last level and boom. And then they would be like, oh, I got to this last level super quick, now let's beat it.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of RC Pro-Am, but it's a very top-down view instead of the more isometric RC Pro-Am. And you are driving a truck. The controls are a little confusing because the fire button is gas, and also pressing up on the joystick is gas, and then turning left and right will obviously steer you left and right on the control pad. But you have to press both the up direction and the gas together, and that's pressing down hard on the gas pedal. And if you let go of one or the other, you go slower, and it seems like you go different speeds depending on whether you're holding up or whether you're holding down on the fire button. So there's some depth and complexity to the driving as far as acceleration and speed go in this game that I really wasn't able to master too well. But I don't know, I played it for a little bit on my own and did pretty well. I came in second on the first race, but it's kind of slow and choppy racing, and doing 5 laps around a pretty long track was by the time I was on the 5th lap, I'm I don't want to play it. Plus there's the qualifying lap before the race, so you're doing 6 laps in total just for the first level. It got a little too much. And also there's no music in the game. This is the only piece of music in this game. And so you're just listening to your engine, which is kind of sour sounding, and then the bumps and thumps of the trucks banging against each other, which is more or less like the snare sound from the music. Yeah, it's pretty darn loud. So all in all, not really a game worth playing, but definitely something that Logan and I will probably sit on the title screen and just listen to at random when we feel like it.
Yeah.
Get to just look at a black and blue picture of 2 pixelated trucks on the screen while we jam out.
Who knows why
rock.
it's black and blue?
I don't know. Limited amount of colors, maybe for faster loading? I don't know. Anyways, we're moving on to our much awaited last track of the show, and I've kept most of the content of this secret from Logan. We don't even know which song we're going to play yet because we haven't listened to them. I mean, I've listened to them and I enjoyed them, but we're going to listen to 5 pieces of music from Big Rigs Over the Road Racing, composed by Alex Burton, and we'll play the one that we like the best, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the game. Oh yeah, we're going to play the game while we're gone too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have to see.
We're gonna probably play it for like an hour.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I could tolerate an hour without vomiting.
What?
Well, it's that bad, you know?
Yeah, but it's so bad that it's good.
That's
or it's
fine.
so good that it's bad.
A little bit of both. All
Probably.
Right. So anyways, we will be back after listening to a selection from Big Rigs Over the Road Racing, composed by Alex Burton.
Bye-bye. Welcome back. That was track 6 from Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. Best and worst game ever.
So bad it's good. That came out on the PC, quote unquote, came out on the PC in 2003, composed by Alex Burton. And the music is not as bad as the game is, by any stretch, right? You were jamming out to some of these tunes. Logan and I both had our own favorites. He liked track 6, and I liked track 3. So what we're going to do is we just listen to track 6, and then we'll use track 3 as the outro for the podcast. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
That way everybody wins. What'd you like about track 6?
It has a cool techno feeling to it.
Yeah. Danceable.
Yeah.
A little different from a lot of the rock we've been playing on this show.
Yep.
Wanted to change it up a little bit. I can totally understand that. It was composed by Alex Burton, and again, Alex Burton doesn't really have a lot of credits. Only this and Midnight Race Club Supercharged. And the only reason behind that is that Big Rigs Over the Road Racing and Midnight Race Club were both supposed to be one game, but they didn't finish either of them. And they decided to split them up and release them separately so that they could make more money.
So, if they were together, it would be Big Rigs Supercharged.
Maybe it would be big midnight race club rigs over the supercharged road racing! Exclamation point.
Okay, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Or Big Rig's Midnight Race Club Supercharged Road Racing.
That could be it too, yeah. Or over the race club midnight big rigs supercharged.
Okay. That's funny.
Anyhow, yeah, so this was a game that never got finished, but got released anyway. And we're talking so not finished that it released in pre-alpha state. Do you know what pre-alpha means?
Yes. It's alpha before alpha.
Basically,
Meta
yeah.
alpha.
Yeah. What comes after alpha?
Beta
And what comes after beta?
release.
Perfect. Nice job.
Or if it needs more fixing.
Well, those would be hot fixes or patches after release, yeah. Yeah, but generally when it comes out, it's called the release version of the game. Unpatched release version of the game. So this one was pre-alpha, which means lots and lots and lots of work still had to be done on it. And for whatever reason, they just abandoned the project, put it in a box, and sold it. The game wasn't even far along enough yet that they had implemented the music in the game. So when you play this game, there's no music, but included on the disc were the wave files for the soundtrack. So they were like, hey, Alex, he did the music for us, so we may as well just put the music on the disc and maybe somebody will find them and listen to them someday.
And we did.
And we did.
And now a lot of people are going to listen to cool music for a terrible game.
Yes, exactly. So why is this game so terrible?
The graphics, terrible. The lights, they're basically just the brush on Photoshop. They're just clicked on. They're not even, like, on the brake lights.
Yeah, when you move your truck, the brake lights are like 3 feet behind the truck wiggling around.
They cling to the walls through solid objects.
There's no collision detection.
Nope.
There's no...
And reversing, don't get me started on that. It's just way faster than actually moving forward.
Yeah, there's no limit on speed when you go in reverse. So you can reverse infinitely and go infinitely fast until you're pretty much occupying all points in space at once.
Yep. 2 hilarious moments just happened. We reversed in like the 10,000s and we still won, even though the other truck finished before us. And it's like, you win. And I'm like, what? What?
It's crazy. Yeah, so if you reverse and turn at the same time, you kind of just spin in place. And because you can go infinitely fast, your car just ends up, or your truck just ends up going round and round and round and round, and everything starts glitching out. And
You can see through the truck.
so what you were doing is, when you go through the race, as it were, as best you can, you go through checkpoints, and you'll fill in the checkpoints along the way. So once you get all the checkpoints, getting to the finish line ends the race. But you would start reversing and spin around in circles, and basically just spin around in circles and like glitch all over the map until your truck just kind of coincidentally happened to be at the finish line and end the race like immediately. Ridiculous game.
Too bad we have version 1.3 or 3.0.
Yeah, it's 1 point. There's version. Well, yeah, there's 3 different versions of the game. There's a super early version of the game, and
That's
then
alpha.
yeah, that's the pre-alpha, which not many people have. And then the version online is like the 0.9 or whatever.
Yeah, the
and then there's a
second
patch
version.
for 1.0, which it's not 1.0 at all. It's still a pre-alpha version, but it's the release version. So we were playing the 1.0 version, in which the actual truck that you're racing against moves.
And doesn't
That's the
just
update.
stay still.
It actually kind of moves. It kind of wiggles forward with its wheels not rotating at all.
Unless, in the other versions, the truck just goes too fast and it already finishes.
Oh, maybe it just zips around the whole racetrack.
Yeah, before you can load in.
But it still says you win, though.
Yeah, it still says that, even when the other truck moves in the latest update.
That's true. Do you remember what the trucks' names were?
There was Thunder, I think it was Sunrise, there was a heavy truck that I can't remember its name, and also Big One.
Mega One.
Yeah, big Mega One.
It's Thunder, Thunder Bull, Mega One, and Sunrise. And they don't even look like they do when you actually race them in the game. The pictures.
Mega One and Thunder look the same. Also Sunrise, but that fourth truck, it says to have a huge cargo container on the back, but instead it just has a fifth wheel.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this game to other people?
Yes. Yes, I would. It's crazy. You should try it. If you like it, play it every day. That's what I'm planning to do.
All right, I guess we found our favorite game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that basically brings us to the end of our show. So I got 2 questions for you.
What?
First question is, and you may have already answered this, what was your favorite game of the show?
The game that we were just talking
Big
about.
Rigs? Even better than SnowRunner?
Yes.
Even better than Wreckfest?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, in the new Wreckfest update. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, and then favorite song of the show?
I think that's got to be International Truck Racing.
Yeah, you're a chiptune kid. That's awesome. I'm so proud. I'm gonna have to say my favorite game of the show is definitely, I don't know. Well, it's got to be a tie between Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator. I guess I'll have to say American Truck Simulator because it feels more like home driving around the United States.
I mean, yeah, because we live in the United States.
Yeah, with SnowRunner a close second. I don't know, my favorite track was probably also International Truck Racing. I have a feeling that's not going to be our listeners' favorite because it's pretty abrasive and, there are a lot of songs that we played which are much more professionally composed than that one, but I just like that raw kind of rock sound. The Truck Simulator tracks are phenomenal. That is a really, really good soundtrack on both of those games. And like I said, if you like chill rock shoegazy music, definitely check out the SnowRunner soundtrack. There is a ton of music. There's like, that game cycles between night and day, and depending on the time of day, there's like 3 different random tracks that it will play during each day cycle. And then there's like 5 different worlds that so there's like 15 times 5. There's a lot of music in that game. There's like 60 something tracks, including your garage tracks and your menu tracks and all that stuff. So It's worth listening to for sure. Man, this was fun. We discovered a lot of really cool stuff.
I feel like we should do a Trucks with Logan Part 2.
Part 2. I don't know if there are enough truck games left.
Yeah, but there's just so many.
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe just games with that have like trucks in the background. Like there's a Street Fighter stage with some trucks in the background, and we could just play that music.
Oh, that's just not a truck game, though.
It's cheating.
Yes.
Fine. All right. Well, if we can find enough truck games, or like we said before, if you want to do like just Logan's favorite songs or something, we can totally do that too. Then we can talk about a whole bunch of different kinds of games.
Yes, we'll probably include some of these tracks in that podcast if we ever make it.
Yeah, maybe some other music from these games, so we don't duplicate stuff. If other listeners out there wanted to be a 10-year-old gamer, what advice would you give them?
My advice would be, never rage quit. Everything's just a game.
That's extremely good advice for someone so young. Very good.
And one meme right now. Why you mad? It's just game. Memes.
Thank you for the meme, my son. All right. We'll call this one Big Rigs with Big Logan.
I am. That would be funny.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with us and checking out some truck games with Logan. I'm sure he will be back for a future episode very soon. If you want to find us on the web, you can check us out on Twitter at the VGMbassy, or you can visit our website at thevgembassy.com. And from there, you can head over to our Discord server, which all the coolest peeps hang out at. We have a huge Discord server with lots of activity, lots of friends. And we have a Patreon, and you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/thevgembassy. Speaking of Patreon, folks, I'd like to thank everybody who donates to the show to help make our lives easier, make the show sound better, helps me feed Logan his McDonald's cheeseburgers.
Okay, I don't think that was necessary.
At our tourist level, Bedroth from A Very Good Music VGM Podcast, Daryl Bowers, aka The Last Weekend from VGM Fight Club, Chris Murray, and Cameron Shiles from the Mad Gear Band. At our VG Emissary tier, The Dyad, Muddle Madness, Kyle Kroll, Jordan Werma, Gannon11, Chris Steenerson, and Chris Myers. Our audio attaché members, Dan Lawton, Scott McElhone, Carlos from the Heroes 3 podcast, and Cameron Werma. And our special agent tier, Volt Supreme from Volt's Supreme's VGM Dream Stream Machine, and Ryan Steele. It is a long name, but it's a really good podcast. And our VG ambassadors, Frankly Zappa, and the patron saint of VGM podcasts, Alex, the messenger, host of A VGM Journey. Any parting words before we take our leave, sir?
I say, play these truck games.
In any particular order, in the order that we shared them in?
No, in any order.
Okay. And yeah, I took some video of you playing Big Rigs earlier, so maybe I'll share that on the Discord so people can see exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And how ridiculously giddy you get over going in reverse.
Because it's insane.
Yes. All right. And also a big thanks to Trevin Hughes, a.k.a. Dread, for the podcast theme song, and Metal Sorcery and Dara J for the podcast art. And next time, we will be hanging out with our dear friend Dan Lawton, talking about some excellent hack and slash games. We will see you then. Bye, everyone.
Bye.